Hey, thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Pippi Peterson. So I'm going to be patching up my roof where all the seams are. There's a bunch of, it's kind of like a goopy sort of thing. And after a while it cracks, and that's what I'm going to be replacing today. I am using ProGuard. This is the only one that is a liquid EPDM in liquid format, rubber in liquid format. It is specifically for EPDM rubber roofs. Not all rubber roofs are EPDM, so make sure your roof is EPDM membrane, and then ProGuard is definitely the brand to get for it. Not just is there one type of EPDM rubber roof, but there's different manufacturers, and one brand in particular, it requires an extra step, and that is if you have an alpha brand EPDM membrane. And if you might not know that, but most Fleetwood RVs from somewhere in the 90s, maybe late 80s, for something like 20 or 30 years, they were using the alpha membranes. And I have a Fleetwood, I have a Fleetwood Bounder, and it's a 92. So I'm guessing that mine has the alpha brand EPDM rubber roof membrane. So I require 2 steps. This is step 1, this is step 2. If you do not have an alpha brand, you don't need to do step 1. Okay, now to go on, there's 2 steps. First step is priming it. Actually, before these steps, preparation is absolutely the most essential part to repatching your roof, and it pretty much means cleaning any sort of dirt, any sort of powder, any sort of oils or greases. All of that has to be off of the roof. So preparation, that's number 1. And number 2, when you begin to do this, it needs to be totally dry. So it can't be like if it's morning time and you got a little bit of dew, you have to wait till that dew dries. Okay, so that's preparation. Now, step 1 is putting a primer down. For the Alpha brand rubber roofs, actually Alpha has other types of roofs. So for the Alpha brand EPDM membrane rubber roofs, you need to start with a primer. And I am guessing, I don't know for sure, I'm guessing that is because this has a solvent that will interact with the chemicals in the Alpha brand. So you need to put this down to have that barrier between these guys. So anyway, I'm saying there's 2 steps, but there's actually 4 things here. This is step 1. It's an epoxy, and if you've worked with epoxies, there's always 2 parts that go into it. So these are the 2 parts for step 1 for priming. And step 2, or if you do not have an Alpha brand EPDM rubber roof membrane, you can make this your step 1. This is the actual rubber EPDM liquid, and you add a catalyst into it. And what the catalyst does is if there are any air bubbles stuck in the thick rubber, this will force all of the air out. Therefore, it makes like a completely airtight seal, and it bonds, so it is literally going to be the same, thing as your membrane that you've got already. So yeah, that is step 2 with the catalyst. Step 1 as a primer for the Alpha brand EPDM membranes, and make sure you got it all prepared. I'm gonna have to go up. I did a bunch of scrubbing and washing about a week ago, and I'm going to go up right before I put this on and do it one more time. Not a full washing, but just to make sure nothing's gotten up their scents, like extra little dirt particles or whatever. So the other thing that needs to be followed with this is obviously follow the directions and the mixing instructions, but you must know you cannot stir this with like a paint stick that you get at, your big name department or like home type stores. You cannot use a paintbrush or a paint thing. You have to use an electric drill. You must use an electric drill with this. So I'll be using an electric drill, drill that plugs in, not the battery kind, just in case the battery wears out. When you're working with these, you have to work pretty quickly. All right. According to one person I talked to, not that retails this, but somebody at Camping World, and according to the directions on the back, your time is kind of limited when you're working with these. If it's over 70 degrees, which it is for me, it's going to cure in 4 to 6 hours. This one will cure in 4 to 6 hours. So you want to make sure everything's ready before you open up and start mixing. This one cures in, maybe this is 4 to 6 hours. Anyway, read the instructions. Oh, this one is 3 hours, yeah. So I've only got 3 hours to do this, and then 4 to 6 hours for this. Somebody that retails this said that you don't have to worry about that. However, if something says I need to worry about it, I'm going to worry about it. But if it is under 50 or 55 degrees, it will not cure. So you can like literally walk away from it. But anything above that, you need to kind of be on your toes and prepared. Again, preparation is everything. So let's get started. So I'm about to mix my primer parts together and get this going. To prepare, obviously I've washed it, it's dried, and I even already brought up the paintbrush and some of these just in case I need to use them, so that once I finish mixing I can just go right up. And I'm also going to leave my my drill bit, the mixer paddle, in a bucket of with a little bit of paint thinner on it, just so it doesn't dry so much. So I think I'm pretty much ready. Remember, the primer is definitely a must if you have an Alpha brand EPDM rubber roof, or if you have a TPO rubber roof. So both of those require the primer. So I'm going to get started. Now the primer, you see it comes in these two quarts. Are these quarts? Yeah, quarts. And then the rubber is almost a gallon, but the primer actually will cover more surface area than the gallon of rubber. This primer doesn't actually have instructions that say it needs to be mixed with a electric mixer. So the primer, you might be able to use these paint sticks. My plan is to get the primer on and let it dry enough. So the full cure time is 14 to 16 hours. However, it can only stay in the bucket for, like 3 or something like that. So my plan is to get the primer on this morning. It's early morning, and then before it dries, it says it's actually better to put the liquid roof on it when it's just still a little bit wet. So my plan is to do the EPDM liquid later today before this is fully cured. All right, here it goes. By the way, since this stuff has, since this has to go down between the liquid rubber and my current EPDM membrane, I'm going to make sure that I get the surface of this definitely wide enough so that it's a good bottom layer. After about an hour and a half of painting, I've gotten all my seams and down the edges, and you can see I had plenty to give me enough space to put the liquid rubber on, and even more space than that. So anyway, I'm hoping that the primer that's probably not going to get any of the liquid rubber on it is going to be okay just being on its own. If anything, it'll be white, so it'll help keep it cooler. Well, I tried to get this done in one day, and it was totally not feasible because the primer takes actually a lot longer to fully cure. I went up there at the end of the day that I put the primer on, and it was still really sticky. And because I had so much that I'd, brought onto the roof, I just wanted to do the sides at first, but I had so much, so I made it, come up on the roof. Because there was so much, I wouldn't have been able to get to the edges without walking on the sticky part. So I waited a couple days, and it was probably sticky for, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days, less and less sticky as each day went on. But then I had to go out of the country, so I was gone for like a week and a half. So it's probably been about 2 weeks, maybe even a little bit longer. And now it is finally cured. It's hard, it feels not sticky at all. And during its sticky period, we had some wind, and I got like a bunch of leaves. They got blown up there, and they got like stuck in the primer. So when I went up there the first time, I just couldn't think of anything else but like a frosted donut with sprinkles on it. So anyways, I got some of the leaves out, but a lot of them are still in there, and they're just going to be part of the roof. It's just how it is. So there's one thing that I wanted to mention about this that I can't remember if I mentioned before, but so what I'm using, this one's called Liquid Roof, and it's the ProGuard, and ProGuard also carries another one called Rubber Roof. And the difference between these is Liquid Roof is the only one that can go on RVs and trailers because they're moving, and it can take the bending of the roof, whereas the one called Rubber Roof cannot. It can only go on stationary buildings. So don't get Rubber Roof, get the one called Liquid Roof. I think the bottles look the same, they kind of look the same on the outside, and Rubber Roof might be cheaper, so you might think, oh, I'll go with that one, but yeah, if you're going to put it on your trailer or your RV, you got to get the one called Liquid Roof. Anyway, time to finish this project up. So you want to make sure you read the directions right. To mix in the catalyst, you have to have a vortex kind of spinning. Also, they don't fill this up all the way so that you can mix this and have some room to stir.
I thought there would be a lot of area with exposed primer, but it seemed to cover about the same amount. However, the liquid rubber didn't cover as smooth or as solid an area as the thinner primer did, but I got all the necessary spots well filled in. Also, the liquid roof covered up a lot of the leaves, so hopefully if it's not windy, I'll have a white roof.
Well, it feels really great to have my roof all patched up and bring on the rain. So I'm pretty excited about that. I hope you got some good information. If you are interested in patching up your roof and you want to get the ProGuard stuff that I used in this video, you can order it from epdmcoatings.com. And for the month of March 2016, they're going to do free shipping if you order it. So good luck with that. Be sure to order from EPDM Coatings. I actually called around a couple places and that retail this product, and these guys were really friendly. You can't actually order it directly from ProGuard anyway, so you have to find a retailer to purchase it from. And EPDM Coatings was really friendly and nice to me, so I totally recommend them. And be sure to order this month so you can get free shipping on your new roof. Thank you so much for watching. I am Pippi Peterson. Be sure to check out my RV Living forum, join the discussions at pippenings.com. You can also get your Keep It Simple bumper sticker and check out my blog. Till next time, keep it simple.